The WWE was in a bad spot for years, and it seemed like they had no hope, especially with a new alternative. An alternative that was mainly led by one man. You see, in 2022, at WrestleMania 38, everything would change.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Cody Rhodes would come back and shit done got serious. But before I go into all that, let me take y'all back, man. But Cody Rhodes started off the most boring looking punchable mid-carder ever. He would then go on to win the tag team titles with Hardcore Holly. Yes, bro. Hardcore Holly. Ew. But anyways, he would then go on to turn on Holly and then win the tag team titles with Ted DiBiase. I also got to put out there that around this time, somewhere around here, he got hit with one of the coolest RKOs ever. When John Cena had him in like a body slam position and he gave Randy the alley-oop to the RKO, that shit was tough. I'm going to make a video on that match because I love it so much and I don't think anybody really talked about it, so yeah, I'm going to make that. Alright, but anyways, back to the story. Randy, Ted, and Cody would form a trio called Legacy to somewhat try and make their daddies proud. This was perfect for Cody as it basically pushed him to the main event scene. Legacy would just terrorize the roster, and not even the McMahons were safe. At Backlash 09, Legacy would defeat Triple H, Batista, and Shane in a 6-man tag match, which would win Randy Orton the WWE title off of a stipulation. But I don't know, don't ask me because WWE was weird back then. But Legacy would dominate up until early 2010, where the group was split up, resulting in a triple threat at WrestleMania 26, where Orton would win. After this, Cody would start his dashing gimmick, where he would give out grooming tips. And I'm gonna be honest, man, he had something here. But he was showing potential. And Night of Champions 2010, Cody and Drew McIntyre, which looking back are two very similar wrestlers, would go on to win the WWE Tag Team Championships. After this, the two would end up losing the titles. And after this, on a random SmackDown, Ray would hit Cody with a 619, and I guess he thought it made him ugly like some rich white girl would do. But he would then do his undashing gimmick, and yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care about this part. I'm skipping this. I'm getting to the good parts. In 2013, Cody would end up in a storyline against The Authority with his brother Goldust and his daddy Dusty Rhodes. Cody would get put in a match against Randy Orton with his job on the line, and Cody would end up losing. Goldust would try to get it back in blood though, but let's be honest, Cody was on his couch crying. He knew Goldust's trash ass wasn't gonna win. But Cody and Goldust would then defeat Roman and Seth in a tag match to get their jobs back and would then win the tag team titles. Then after this, Cody would start a new gimmick called Stardust, which was basically a Goldust ripoff. I'm gonna be honest with y'all though, as a kid, I actually liked Stardust, but he knew he was destined for more and I respect it. Cody had enough and would eventually leave the WWE in 2017. After this, Cody would reinvent himself from the ground up and become a star in the indies. Cody would eventually click up with the Young Bucks and would form the Elite. Cody would basically just run the indie scene, but he knew he could do more. In May 2017, Dave Meltzer's trifling ass would put out a tweet. You see, we didn't know it at the time, but this one little tweet from a nerd journalist would change wrestling forever. This random on Twitter would ask the greatest question ever, apparently, saying, at Dave Meltzer, do you think ROH can ever sell out an arena with 10K plus fans, something like MSG? And Dave would say, not anytime soon. But Cody would then take this personally and say, I'll take that bet, Dave. I already gave them their biggest buy rate. Put the Bucks and I on the card in 3 months to promote. But fast forward to September 1st, 2018, Cody and the Young Bucks would do it, man. Shout out to everybody involved in this pay-per-view. This was one of the most important pay-per-views ever, and probably, at the time, the best non-WWE show ever. But that's debatable because you had TNA and WCW, but to the newer fans, this was definitely the best pay-per-view ever. That was not WWE. But forget about all that. This show had one important person in the audience. Yes, sir. The coked out nerd himself, Tony Khan. They had something big planned in the future, but this is where everything started. In November 2018, several trademarks were filed, indicating that a new wrestling promotion was going to be made. On January 1st, 2019, All Elite Wrestling was revealed during a conference where the Elite would serve as EVPs and in-ring talent, and with the backing of a billionaire with Tony Khan. It was just a thing of the right place at the right time. But I think there's 3 key reasons as to why AEW was successful. 1, I think the fans were just craving an alternative, and WWE was just so boring at the time. Number 2, the Indies was just at an all-time high with talent they could pick. And number 3, they had a rich backer who was a huge wrestling fan. Like, he was one of the biggest nerds I've ever seen. But on May 25th, 2019, AEW would host their first show called Double or Nothing. This pay-per-view would be a smash hit with an amazing match card, and Cody Rhodes would face his brother Dustin in a bloody brawl, which would be match of the night. But before the match, Cody would go out with a sledgehammer and break the throne. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Cody would then basically handcuff himself when he would feud with Chris Jericho. But see, at this time, Cody was like the most over face in wrestling. It's always what he wanted to be. But honestly, in my opinion, this is one of the biggest reasons why Cody left AEW in the first place. Cody would then go on to cut arguably the best promo of his entire career when he said he went from undesirable to undeniable. Let him know, Cody. Man, Cody is so raw, bro, I swear. But another thing I love about Cody is that he always wears suits. He just looks like a big deal. Like, the presentation is just there with him. And he always pours his heart out into his promos. However, though, he made one huge mistake. He made a stipulation that said if he lost his match against Jericho for the title, he would never be able to fight for the main title ever again. But to be honest, I blame the fans for this one, because people would complain that he would book himself as the top guy, but honestly, this was just way, way worse. But at Full Gear, on November 9th, Cody Rhodes would lose to Jericho when his best friend MJF threw in the towel and cost to Cody. Cody would then do a feud with MJF and put him over. And after this, Cody would really just find his place as an upper mid-carder, just kind of dangling in the TNT title picture. But by the way, the TNT title is so gorgeous. Like, the red strap with the gold look just so nice. But I remember back in the day, a lot of people said that Cody wasn't putting over young talent. And I always found that kind of bizarre because I always saw him losing to younger guys. But I was never the biggest AEW guy, so I could be wrong. But let me know in the comments. But fast forward to January 2022, Cody would be the TNT champion. At this time, people hated Cody. They wanted him to turn heel or something, but they hated his try-hard, like, Homelander vibe. But on January 19th, 2022, Cody would cut a very interesting promo. I actually remember watching this live and thinking something was up, but there's a couple lines in here that I want to highlight. When he started this promo off, everybody was hating on him, bro. Like the fans were chanting, "Shut the F up." He would shut them up by the end. But he also starts the promo by saying this line. Cody said, "Someone told me to save this promo, but I don't know if I'm going to get the chance, so I'm going to do it right now." I actually kind of want to know who he's talking about, to be honest. I never figured that out, but if y'all know, let me know in the comments. Cody then mentions the pipe bomb and says that Cody did everything that Punk talked about. This promo was literally legendary. Go check it out. But you could literally tell that the boos were hurting him, man. Like, he didn't deserve all that hate. But then Cody then says he was the one that built the Forbidden Door. And by that point, he completely turned the crowd around, and they would eventually start chanting his name. But Cody then disses NXT, saying they beat the developmental. He then disses them again, mocking them for changing people's names. He then says that Tony Khan sent him a contract, and Cody jokingly, but not really jokingly, says that it wasn't the contract he wanted. So many crazy lines that they threw in this promo, man. But on January 26th, 2022, Cody would put over Sammy in what would turn out to be his last ever AEW match. This was an amazing match, by the way, that had crazy spots. But on February 15th, 2022, it was reported that Cody and Brandy left AEW as they couldn't agree on contract terms. This is where AEW had the biggest fumble I've probably ever seen in my life. This is exactly why you shouldn't listen to fans every time. You see, Cody probably wanted a big bag, but Tony was probably listening to the crowd's reactions on him, and he decided that he didn't want to pay Cody because he felt like his stock plummeted. You see, people didn't know it at the time, but Cody was really the glue that was holding AEW together. You see, AEW was on a crazy hot streak, but after Cody left, it just felt like they lost their passion and their whole aura and vibe and felt directionless. But nah, forget all that. Cody wasn't done here. He didn't come all this way from Stardust to reinventing himself and building a company just to get pushed aside and tossed out like garbage. Hell nah, man. Not again. But what would happen next couldn't have happened to a better person. On night 1 of WrestleMania 38, Cody would be revealed as Seth's mystery opponent. The wrestling world was in shock because for all we know, it could have just been a work or something. This was just crazy. Nothing like this happened at that time. Especially with a former EVP. He was at the top of AEW's list. And people never left AEW for WWE. So this was just a crazy shocker. But in Cody's return promo on Raw, Cody simply said that he was back to win the title his dad never got to hold. The WWE title. His story was set. Cody would then go on to beat Seth 2 more times, and the 3rd time in one of the best and also most cringy matches I've ever watched in my life, at the Hell in a Cell when he torn his pec. But after this, Cody was basically like my guy now, man. Like, I haven't liked a face like this since like John Cena or Daniel Bryan or something. Like, he's like the biggest face in like almost a decade, damn near. But the craziest part about this is that he came back full presentation, like full American Nightmare, the thing that he built under Vince McMahon's booking. Even Vince saw the vision on Cody, man. Honestly, though, knowing Vince, he's probably like, where the hell have you been? He probably didn't even know Cody was missing, man. But after this, Triple H would come in and WWE would just get better and better. And honestly, all this momentum started with one guy, Cody Rhodes. Cody is the MVP at this point because whatever roster he's on just turns into the best spot in wrestling. At the Royal Rumble, Cody would come back and throw out Gunther to win. It was on. Roman versus Cody for the title at Mania 39. I gotta be honest, I really wanted Cody to win this, but man, it really sucked like everything out of the show for me. But regardless, later on in the year, CM Punk would eventually come home to the WWE. I know Tony Khan was sick, man. But after this, the WWE would also pick up Jade Cargill. But man, someone go check on Tony. But I don't think any of this happens without Cody. But see, AEW upped the score on WWE so hard, it was like 87-3. But honestly, all 87 AEW signings still weren't as important as Cody going back to the WWE. But fast forward to Royal Rumble 2024, Cody and Punk, the 2 guys that were in AEW at the same time and never crossed paths. The guy who mentioned Punk on his very last AEW promo, saying he did everything Punk talked about doing, finally met face to face to finish their stories. Punk finally was trying to steal his WrestleMania main event, and Cody winning the big one that his dad never held. The final 2 went back and forth, but Cody would win the match and set out to finish his story. And now, we are in present times. And man, a lot of people are mad at WWE right now. On SmackDown, Cody threw up his spot at Mania to The Rock. People were not happy, but it's all starting to line up. Everybody on social media has been vocal and have been saying that we want Cody. And man, I know he is appreciating this very dearly. But Cody Rhodes has somehow gotten even more over than last year and is damn near having a modern day yes movement. As of just today, WWE held a Mania press conference where The Rock would turn full heel mode and little bro the shit out of Roman Reigns and slap the shit out of Cody. And he also made Seth look irrelevant. But this press conference was genuinely one of the best things I've ever seen WWE do, but we still don't really have any answers. But Cody said he chooses to fight Roman at Mania, but I doubt The Rock is letting that slide. I personally think they're going to do like a triple threat or something. But what I'd do is, I'd have Roman and The Rock versus Seth and Cody at the Chamber pay-per-view or night 1, and then I'd have The Rock and Roman turn against each other and give Seth and Cody the win. Then I'd do a triple threat at night 2 with The Rock, Roman, and Cody, where Cody would go on to win. But I really hope Cody doesn't lose twice in a row. That would suck. And you could also have Seth defend his title at night 2 as well. Like, it doesn't have to be just one thing. They have 2 nights. Like, you might as well just take advantage of it. But yeah, man, looking back, Cody really saved wrestling. Not only did he make ROH and New Japan the best thing they've ever been and the most relevant, but he built an alternative to WWE, and then he completely turned WWE around, and they've had a complete renaissance. But yeah, man, honestly, none of this happens without Cody. But I just want to say, thank you, Cody. You saved wrestling, my boy. Go finish your story, brother. You deserve it.
Nothing but lackeys, but yes men. They're goons.